So the first 4 fragrances on this list, gents, have 3 things in common. First up, they're all highly regarded by the men who wear them. The second commonality, they all smell very similar to each other. A fruity, sweet, leather, woody, smoky, tropical, fresh accords with a bit of musk and citrus. Each of them possess that holy this stuff smells amazing type of vibe. And I know for you frag heads out there, this point doesn't surprise you because 3 out of those 4 fragrances are clones of the one fragrance that is not a clone, Aventus. Still, of the clones, it's worth noting this one is the strongest. While this one is relatively easy to find and sample in box stores, well, this last one, if you look around, is the cheapest to buy. And that takes me to the third thing that all of these fragrances have in common. You can buy all of them, including tons of other great summer scents at a huge discount. Now, down in the description of today's video, I'm gonna link over to those fragrances individually at one of my favorite discounters. Now, these are affiliate links, so I do get a commission, but the reality is I buy the vast majority, over 95% of my own fragrances, and a lot of them I bought at this particular discounter. Seriously, gents, if you decide you want to buy any of these fragrances, you want to make sure you're getting the best deal, use that link. I'm putting it down in the description of today's video. I'm going to continuously keep that link updated, making sure that you get the best deal on the web. And without further ado, let's talk about the fragrance I'm wearing today. Now, my wife knows I'm big into perfumes. I'm constantly wearing and testing different ones, but rarely does she ask me, wow, like, what are you wearing? Especially after I was running. Now, I picked up this fragrance with my own money about 3 years ago, and initially I was lukewarm to it. And that's not because I don't think highly of Parfums de Marly. In fact, anyone that watches any of my other fragrance videos, you know that Carlisle and Layton, I constantly rank in my top 15 winter fragrances. But see, that's the thing. I was used to Parfums de Marly being heavier, stronger fragrances that you would wear in cooler weather. I mean, Layton, you could definitely wear it on a cool summer day. Carlisle, though, this is going to be reserved for the colder months. But the more I wear, sadly, the more I realized I really misjudged this. The accords here, citrus, aromatic, fresh, spicy with a bit of wood and amber. In hot weather, this is an amazing fragrance that actually is beast mode in terms of performance. So after that revelation, I decided to go back to my Parfums de Marly collection and decided to add Greenley to this list as well. Now, this fragrance is going to have more woody, citrus, fruity, powdery, and musky accords to it. This is going to be an effervescent green apple with a bit of fruit, violet, and cedarwood. In a nutshell, a mass appealing fragrance that would work great as a gift, again, that's going to be beast mode during the summer, that is just going to get you compliments. That being said, if you were to force me to choose one Parfums de Marly fragrance that I would recommend blind buy, some guy grab, and most likely he's going to love it, it would be Percival. Now, the accords here are going to be amber, wood, aromatic, fresh, spicy, citrus, musk with a bit of lavender. This is a masculine, classy scent that's incredibly versatile because it reminds people, strangely, of a fragrance that was super popular in the 1990s, Amber Cranberry and Finch Fierce is the one I'm referring to, but they improved on it by giving it a bit more longevity and projection. Oh, and that flash sale I mentioned earlier, guys, it's only lasting for a couple days, so make sure to use that link, go over and check out PDM Fragrances. There's a huge discount, whether you're buying for the winter, whether you're buying for the summer. These are beast mode fragrances that last for a long time. Now, this next house, even without a discount, I would say is one of the best deals out there. The house I'm talking about, Versace. Now, let's start things off with one of the most versatile offerings. Dylan Blue. The accords here are going to be amber, citrus, fresh, spicy with a bit of musk, and aquatic. Clean, sexy, versatile with good longevity. And sticking with that bottle design, let's go to the original, the Pour Homme. Now, this one's going to be a lot lighter. It's a citrus, aromatic, fresh, spicy with a bit of floral. Now, in my opinion, this fragrance is really underrated. It's going to get you a lot of compliments. The only issue I have with it is I don't think it lasts that long unless you're wearing it in hot weather. Then it will start to project. That being said, it's worth owning, hence why I'm linking to it in the description with a great discount. But if you want something with a bit more longevity, with more of an aquatic scent to it, something that is almost magical, check out Versace's Man Eau Fraiche. A citrus aromatic woody fragrance with a bit of fruit. This fragrance has a bit more of an uplifting, energizing, just really friendly, and again, I would say magical. Probably one of my favorites in this entire line. Oh, and on a side note, apparently the ladies love this one. But sometimes you just want something classic, something you don't have to think about, that you can wear during the day, you can wear at night, and has great longevity. Check out Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau Intense. Now, as you can tell, I'm gushing on Versace. I think they got lots of great selections when it comes to summer, but this one right here for a lot of men is just the go-to. It's magical. Maybe it's because you can pick it up in box stores. So many guys love it, but it's got a bit of a cult following. People love the aquamarine type of smell. It's not overpowering, and for a lot of people, it just screams classic summer smell. Next up, we've got the house of Armani. Now, the original masterpiece, crafted by Alberto Marias, came out in 1996. And to this day, it's a solid pick. But one of my favorite things about this line is how strong the flankers are. And if you're not familiar, a flanker is a variation of the original, this case, Profumo. Profumo, this one is going to be more for 4 seasons. It's not just the summer, and it's got a little bit more of an incense, deeper, richer vibe to it. That being said, we're talking about summer, so let's talk about Profondo. This one right here, not only can you find discounted, but you can find it in big bottles, and I think it really flies under the radar. I absolutely love it. I love the longevity. I love the strength. It's got more of an aquatic aquamarine vibe to it. Now, if you're watching this video and think, oh, that's too pedestrian for me, I want something a little bit higher end, well, let's go over to the House of Creed. If you want an absolute beautiful marine citrus with a bit of fruit, you need to check out Millesime Imperial. This fragrance is absolutely heavenly and expensive. That being said, that discounter I talked about earlier, they've got Creeds over there, again, for a great discount. Now, an alternative summer pick is going to be Silver Mountain Water. Less of the aquatic, more of the Silver Mountain Water. Smells like a stream going right down a mountain on a fresh day. That's what the vibe they were going for, and I think they captured it. It's a bit powdery, a very soft fragrance. And speaking of softer, let's talk about Aventus Cologne. This one flies under the radar because everyone else is going for the original Aventus. I like this one. It's kind of a love child between the original Aventus and that Versace Pour Homme. So it's like Aventus, just brighter, more energetic, and a little bit lighter. And I know Green Irish Tweed for so many people is more of a spring fragrance, but you can definitely pull this off during the summer. And what I like about this one, it's got more projection than the last few I talked about. Creed fragrances, though, in general, are going to be very soft in their projection. Oh, and just for good measure, if you like a little bit of a metallic note, check out Creed Himalaya. Now, you may be wondering, who wants a bit of a metallic note? Well, I do. It reminds me of going to the gun range when I was in the Marine Corps. Yeah, there's just something about it. Now, this doesn't smell like gunpowder, but there is this vibe. I don't know what it is. It is fresh. It is clean. If you haven't checked out Hermes's H24, you are really missing out. And by the way, with that metallic note, not only is this cheaper than Creed Aventus, yet it has all the same pedigree, this one actually has more projection. That being said, if you haven't heard of Hermes, or you just want one fragrance that pretty much is the go-to in their line, you need to check out Terre d'Hermes. This one is a masterpiece fragrance. It's got this dirty orange note. Now, don't let that fool you. This thing is a compliment monster. So many guys don't even think to ever pick up this fragrance, and when you do, you're going to have the ladies coming out of the woodwork giving you compliments. And by the way, if you've got a story related to receiving compliments, I would love to hear it in the comments below. Now, of course, no fragrance list at Armrest would be complete without mentioning Tom Ford. As you guys know, I think he makes some of the sexiest fragrances out there, but he also makes some incredibly versatile ones. And that's why I'm going to bring up Grey Vetiver. This one right here, I love it because it doesn't scream for attention. It is masculine, it's strong, it is classic, it is timeless. That being said, if you want something that's more summer oriented, check out the Costa Azzura line. So either one of these, and you can find both of these at discounters. This one is just going to be a little bit weaker. This one posted a little bit stronger. I cannot really smell much of a difference. I would maybe because I'm looking for it, this one does last a little bit longer, but this one you can find at such a steeper discount. So I'd probably just grab the Eau de Parfum. It gets the job done. In any case, the smell, imagine walking through a forest next to the Mediterranean about 10 minutes after you ate a lemon. You got a little bit of that taste in your mouth. You can smell it all coming in, and absolutely beautiful. Next up, we've got the House of Prada. And when it comes to powdery fragrances, this house rules. You want something soft, you want something with a bit of iris, lavender. These are going to be the fragrances you want to pick up. Now, the two fragrances I'm holding right here, we've got the new Ocean EDP, and we have the old Ocean, which actually isn't that old, just a year ago, the EDT. Now, don't let the name fool you. Neither of these are really oceanic fragrances, but if you go with the EDP, understand this is going to be more of a cooler weather, a heavier fragrance. The EDT is going to be lighter, more geared for the summer. Now, if we were to rate the Luna Rossa line by popularity, black would probably be up there at the top. The accords here are going to be amber, wood, musk with a bit of vanilla. And again, it's going to be soft, powdery, maybe for a cool summer day or evening, but really not a day wear fragrance during hot weather. No, for that, let's get back to the original Luna Rossa. Now, you will see variations of the Sport or the O Sport, and just both of these are going to be lighter, especially this one, but I'm going to steer you towards the original because as good as the flankers are, this is where it started, and in my opinion, this is one of the top 20 fragrances every man should have in his collection. The accords here, aromatic, lavender, green, spicy, citrus with a bit of musk, clean, fresh, mesmerizing, versatile. Those are the words that have been used to describe this masterpiece of a fragrance. Highly recommended. Now, if you want something that's versatile with a bit of spice, pimento, you need to check out this fragrance. It flies under the radar. I think it was misnamed. So many people expected to be a really in-your-face, loud, stronger fragrance. Yeah, K King. It's not a king fragrance, but it is something that you can wear to the office. Something will get you compliments, something you don't have to even think about. This fragrance right here makes for a great gift. Next up, let's talk about the House of Gucci. I don't talk about these fragrances much because I do feel they're a bit overpriced, hence why you should buy them at discounters. But if you're going to be looking for two fragrances to wear during the summer, if you've never bought a Gucci fragrance, start with the classic classic Pour Homme. I'm sorry, I missaid that. This is the Gucci Guilty Pour Homme. This is actually Gucci Homme, which comes in a really cool bottle. It's a fine fragrance, but a bit overpriced for what you get. It has no staying power. Pour Homme, on the other hand, does have, I think, some redeeming qualities. A lot of people have described this fragrance as addictive, which is interesting because it's a very simple, clean scent. Citrus, lavender, woody with that bit of white floral. I really, truly enjoy this fragrance. Wish I would have bought a bigger bottle. You're also going to see the cologne. It's unique, it's different, but at the same time, it's familiar. It's going to get you compliments. It's got relatively normal accords. When you look at it, you got the wood with the aromatic, a little bit of spice with powdery and violet. I also appreciate how this one has great longevity and it projects. Overall, it's a good fragrance. I think one of the better from the Gucci line. Now at this point, let's do a rapid run. Dior Homme Cologne. I've actually talked about this in other summer videos. A masterpiece, easy to wear, especially if you like a citrus note. Next up, let's go to the house of Yves Saint Laurent. So many great options here, but stick with the Y line if you're just getting started. These fragrances are so easy to wear. All the fragrances in this line are made to be easy to wear, crowd pleasers. Next up, let's jump over to the house of Burberry. Two of the newer releases, which you can find on discounters, are going to be Hero, the EDT, and the EDP. Now for summer, I definitely would check out the EDT. It's going to be lighter, but I like how they really didn't change too much with the EDP. Yes, it's darker, richer, heavier, but I still think you could pull this off on a cool summer night. With the EDT, the main accords here are going to be wood, spice, aromatic, and citrus. Fresh, woody, and masculine. This is an easy blind buy. With the Eau de Parfum, the accords are going to be amber, a bit of wood mixed in with a woody spice. Imagine the original, but they're going to really focus in on those wood notes. They're also going to add a little bit of sweetness to it. That's really the big difference. And if you just want to keep it simple, but you want to buy a fragrance from the house of Burberry, check out Touch. Perhaps the easiest blind buy for men in the Burberry line. This is a floral, woody, spicy musk that is really a crowd pleaser, easy to wear in the office. Now you may be wondering, if I'm buying from a discounter, am I buying a legitimate fragrance? The answer is yes, if it's a trusted gray market seller. And basically what the gray market is when larger retailers need to unload inventory and they need to move it quickly so they can bring in new, they sell to these discounters at a huge discount. These guys then buy that fragrance in bulk and they sell it to us at a discounted price. And that's why sometimes you're going to see bottles like this that don't even come with a cap. I buy testers all the time. Why? Because they're cheaper. They don't come in a fancy box. Oftentimes they don't have the lid, which can cost a lot of money. And I'm able to save big money and I just don't get a fancy lid. Now this next fragrance house I don't talk a lot about because I think they're overpriced. They're resting on their laurels, but there are a few fragrances in their line that are amazing, especially for summer. That house is Ralph Lauren and the fragrance I'm talking about is Polo Sport. Now Polo Sport's been around since 1994, but this fragrance is still a banger. And if you want something that's masculine, strong, and is going to set you apart from the crowd, check it out. The accords here, aromatic, citrus, fresh, spicy green with a bit of wood and lavender at the base. It's also got a bit of a marine accord. And what I love about this fragrance is it's still got great longevity and projection. Some of you old school guys are going to say, yeah, it's not the same as it was back in the 90s. Still, for today's modern age, this fragrance is good. All right, gents, what did I miss? What are your favorite picks over at discounters? Let me know in the comments below. So what video to watch next? How to properly apply a fragrance. Don't be spraying it in your mouth or spraying it in your eyes. Guys, I teach you how to spray in the right place, so you're not on your crotch area. It sounds like a good idea, but no, you don't want to be doing that. Guys, I got you covered in this video right here.